Welcome to PowerCat Live. I'm here with Nikhila Bhat. She's a senior product manager on the Power Platform team. Hi, Nikhila.
Hey, hi, Phil. Thank you so much for having me here.
Oh, are you kidding? Thanks for being here. So you're on the Power Platform product team, and you've been working on data loss prevention for how long?
Today is actually my 9th-month anniversary. I don't know if there's a name for it.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It's been fabulous.
I don't think you get anything for the 9th month, unfortunately. No.
No, we don't get those, huge crystals that they give you for your 5th year anniversary and 10th.
I did not know about that either. I'm going to look forward to that. And this isn't your first role at Microsoft, right? What did you do at Microsoft before this?
Yeah, no, actually, I was on the strategy side before I moved into product management last year. So I was part of the Azure strategy team, and I used to lead cross Azure go-to-market strategic initiatives that were top of mind for the leadership. So yeah, it's been. I think I'm nearing my 3rd year anniversary at Microsoft as well shortly. So yeah,
it's great. And as any Azure experience is, of course, really relevant to Power Platform because it's all built on Azure. And now when we talk about data loss prevention, right, we know that, millions of people are drawn to the platform because there's, 450 connectors to build on, and you can build these highly designed applications and automation that connect into nearly everything. Yeah. So what's the role of data loss prevention then in controlling that?
Yeah, so as you called out, Phil, like Power Platform gives anyone the ability to connect their apps and flows to any data source like Twitter or SQL Server, right? And as you mentioned, we have like over 450 available connectors that take care of that integration for you. So that makes it easy for literally anyone with an idea to build rich experiences around your data, apps, and processes, and even integrating them with the apps that they use every day, such as Microsoft Teams. So this is great for citizen developers, pro devs, and business users, right? But at the same time, I know a lot of governance and security professionals might feel a bit anxious about people developing apps with access to business critical data. So our DLP offerings help organizations take an approach where governance and productivity is in balance. Which means that rather than stopping these efforts, you can establish the right guardrails and nurture innovation to take place.
Talk a little bit more about how data loss prevention allows administrators to control how these environments are used.
Yeah, absolutely. So today, Power Platform allows admins to classify data connectors into various buckets like business, non-business, and blocked using data loss prevention policies. And this defines whether and how various connectors can be used within a given app or flow. And what I'm going to show today is two granular DLP controls, actually, which are called as Endpoint Filtering and Connector Action Control, and they're really top of mind for our customers. And the premise is that while the existing capabilities are very helpful in governing Power Platform, they're not enough. Because as use of Power Platform grows, admins want more fine-grained controls so that they can strike a fine balance between productivity and protection. And so one such control is endpoint filtering, which we're making available for high usage features like SQL Server, SMTP connector, or HTTP connectors. And this allows admins to allow or deny specific endpoints instead of applying the big hammer of altogether blocking the connector. And similarly, connector action control allows admins to block or allow specific connector actions versus applying the big hammer of blocking the connector altogether.
Yeah, that's interesting. They're similar. And I know they've come up through customer feedback, right? So these are things that we've heard customers ask for. And these features you're showing, these aren't out yet, right? So you're showing us what's coming. Is that right?
That's right, Phil. I mean, it's available in private preview, so we are happy to roll it out for anyone who's interested and provided the team that they can reach out to as well. But public preview is going to take a couple of months.
Show us how these features work.
Yeah, absolutely, Phil. So as you can see on my screen, I'm creating a new policy within the Data Policies wizard in Power Platform Admin Center. And this is going to take me to the Connectors tab, where I can identify the connectors for which endpoint filtering facility is available. And I'm going to sort by that column. And I'm going to pick like the HTTP connector, which allows makers in Power Automate to connect to any HTTP URL and do get and post operations on top of them. I'm going to just use Google as an example here. It is in no way an endorsement or a misendorsement of the company, but that's literally the first website that's on my mind right now. What this side panel helps admins do is create an ordered list of patterns that they want to allow or deny. And the last row is always applicable to all, like it's the default rule. So if you don't have any rules preceding it, the last rule applies to those endpoints. So here I'm going to say, I want to block google.com, and regardless of whether the maker is using HTTP or HTTPS protocol, I want to block it. And also I want to make sure I block all the pages within google.com for access within Power Automate. And so that's why I've added the stars before and after. And I'm now going to choose all environments as the scope and create the policy. And then I'll show you how that gets enforced within Power Automate. So if I go into Power Automate, create an instant cloud flow, let's choose a manually trigger a flow. Okay. So I'm going to add a new step where I use the HTTP connector. And I'm going to try and use, I'm going to try and make a call to google.com. Okay. And when I try to save, I should get a data loss prevention error. Yeah, you see it right there.
So the connector isn't blocked, but it can only be used for endpoints that you allow.
Exactly. Yeah. In this case, the admin is not blocking the connector, but the specific endpoints that they want to allow or deny. Okay, so I'm going to show you connector action control now. So again, I'm going to go to the data policies tab. I'm going to choose Twitter this time. And let's say the IT admin wants to allow his marketing and sales team to use Twitter for sentiment analysis for a Twitter handle that they may have associated with an app, but wants to block all the risky actions like posting a tweet. And so that's what we're going to do here. So you can see the configure connector tab, which was available for endpoint filtering as well. I'm going to go there, and this time I'm going to choose connector actions, which I'm going to configure. I'm going to block all the post, tweet, and retweet, basically the write operations. The rest of the operations are benign, so I'm going to leave those as is. But also, there is an opportunity to block all the new connector actions that are going to come into the ecosystem that Twitter may add. And so I'm going to block all the actions by default and then create the policy. And let's see how this gets enforced on the Power Automate side. So I'm going to choose Twitter. And let's try post a tweet, and let's see what happens. There you go. So you got a data loss prevention error, which actually calls out which specific policy and which specific violation you've run into. So yeah, those are the two granular DLP controls, Phil, that are available in you right now.
So connector action control, what you just showed, how many connectors does that apply to?
It's actually available for all blockable pre-built connectors. So yeah, if you're able to block the connector, you can also instead you can choose to block a action within the connector and unblock the connector for your makers to use the less risky actions.
And I saw from what you did too, you can apply it to all environment or just specific environment. It gives administrators a lot of control over how they want to block them as well.
Yes, absolutely. And then what happens is that the most restrictive policy ends up taking precedence. So if you have an environment level policy where your environment admin has allowed post a tweet, but your tenant level policy blocks it, then in that specific environment, it would get blocked because, that's the most restrictive policy.
The most secure configuration. That's great. I know that these features are really anticipated. So thanks for giving us a sneak peek. We'll look forward to seeing them when they come out soon.
Well, thank you for having me here, and I'm glad to see our customers pumped up to try these features out. So thanks, Phil.
Thanks, Nikhila.